I just finished watching the Indiana Fever's season opener game against the Chicago Sky, and you guys, we have so much to talk about. This is going to be a rant video, so let's jump right.
The matchup between the Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky has concluded with what could only be described as the worst possible scenario for Chicago and Angel Reese. The game highlighted ongoing tensions between Reese and Caitlin Clark that have carried over from last season, with a particularly notable on-court incident that sparked debate among fans and commentators alike.
Guys, I'm Rachel Demita, and welcome to the Courtside Club. Firstly, shout out to all of you who joined my live watch party of the Indiana Fever.
During one exchange, what appeared to be routine basketball contact escalated when Angel approached Caitlin and attempted to hold her briefly before losing her composure entirely. The incident, which many observers felt revealed underlying jealousy, resulted in Reese unleashing a verbal tirade that included phrases like, "You crazy as hell," and "What the hell is wrong with you?" What's particularly interesting was ESPN's coverage of the moment, where commentators described it as excessive contact despite remaining silent about the incident before cutting to commercial break.
Versus the Chicago Sky, we had so much fun, and at one point we had over 1,200 people in that live stream. That's the most that I've ever had on YouTube Live, so I appreciate all of you guys.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark delivered a spectacular performance, recording an impressive triple-double with 20 points, 10 assists, and 10 rebounds. Her Fever teammates also excelled, with Aaliyah Boston contributing 19 points and 13 rebounds, while both Natasha Howard and Kelsey Mitchell added 15 points each. In contrast, despite Angel Reese's double-double of 12 points and 17 rebounds, her shooting efficiency was a mere 35%, and her Chicago Sky suffered a crushing defeat.
Make sure that you subscribe, click that notification bell so you don't miss any of our live watch parties. But you guys, I had to go straight from my live setup into this chair.
The game wasn't even competitive, with Indiana Fever dominating to a final score of 93-58. The contest drew maximum attendance with 17,074 spectators filling every available seat, creating an electric atmosphere for Clark's outstanding performance. Among those celebrating was Dave Portnoy, who reportedly won $350,000 after wagering $25,000 on Clark, achieving a triple-double just before the game began.
Because we have got to talk about that game. Oh my gosh. So much to go over. And why don't we start with what is going to be the biggest news for the next 3 months?
Social media commentary quickly centered on the dynamic between the two players, with Jason Whitlock tweeting, "Besides jealousy, what's motivating Angel's hostility toward Clark? She's extremely envious. She notices the attendance, viewership numbers, ticket sales. It's not even close. She's a media manufactured rival."
So, in what is going to cause some madness, just some absolute madness, you know, Caitlin Clark flagrantly fouled Angel Reese, and it was, it's a tag foul. It's probably flagrant. Probably flagrant. Could very well not be, but I would use If I committed the foul, I'd be annoyed if it was a flagrant. If I got hit by it, I would want it to be a flagrant. So, look, it was on the line.
The game also featured several highlight-worthy moments from Clark, including her first deep three-pointer of the season and various impressive assists, including the 10th assist to Aaliyah Boston that secured her double-double before eventually reaching the triple-double milestone. There were also notable defensive plays, with Boston recording 5 blocks and Reese contributing 4 of her own.
It was 100% on the line between normal and flagrant, and to be honest, I don't even mind. Don't even mind the referees calling it, but both Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark have responded to the whole thing. And Angel Reese was asked about it, and in fairness, gave the best possible response. Thank God. Thank God gave the best possible response. She gave the best possible response. And if it had been bad, it could have gone real bad.
Take us through the flagrant foul from your perspective.
Many observers noted that we seemed to be picking up exactly where last season left off, regarding the treatment of Caitlin Clark. Despite what appeared to be ordinary basketball contact, the reaction from Reese seemed disproportionate to many viewers, who felt she was continuing to use Clark to gain attention while being thoroughly outplayed both individually and as a team. The online reaction was swift, with Reese facing significant criticism as she began trending on social media. Many commenters believed a technical foul should have been called for her outburst, with some going as far as describing her as the most childish and antagonistic athlete in sports currently. As the Indiana Fever completely overwhelmed the Chicago Sky in front of the packed arena, the narrative of this rivalry continues to evolve, though many are questioning whether the two players should even be compared given the disparity in their performances. What's clear is that Clark's triple-double in her first game back has set the tone for what promises to be an exciting season.
Just what you saw in them play out.
Basketball player, refs got it right. Move on.
She just said basketball player, refs got it right. She could have, like, it could have been worded worse. It could have been worded worse. And it was the same thing as she said basketball play when she clocked Caitlin Clark in the head. And again, I stand by this. I don't think Angel Reese last year intentionally smacked Caitlin Clark in the head, because at that stage in the year, Angel Reese had gone like 15 games without getting a single block. If Angel Reese tried to hit Caitlin Clark in the head, she would have missed. But
Man, this situation is going to create absolute chaos. You know, Caitlin Clark committed what looked like a hard foul on Angel Reese. It was definitely borderline, possibly excessive, possibly just regular contact. Honestly, if I made that contact, I'd be upset if they called it excessive, but if someone did that to me, I definitely want the stricter call. Look, it was definitely right on that border between normal and excessive. Truthfully, I don't even disagree with the officials making that judgment call.
and I don't mind it. Caitlin's response is right as well. It was just a good take foul. Either Angel gets wide open 2 points, or, you know, we send to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. It's a good take foul. Every basketball player knows that. It was a hard foul. It was a hard foul. She did a little bit more than just stop Angel from scoring. She didn't need to follow through with her left hand, but still, look, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing play. It is an absolutely nothing play at the end of the day.
Both players have now commented on the incident, and thankfully, Angel Reese gave the perfect response. Seriously, thank goodness. She handled it ideally. If she hadn't, things could have gotten really ugly. She simply stated, basketball move. Officials made the correct call. She could have escalated things, but didn't. It's similar to what she said last season when she accidentally hit Clark in the head. I still maintain that last year's contact wasn't deliberate, because at that point in the season, Reese hadn't blocked a shot in like 15 games. If she had actually tried to hit Clark's head intentionally, she probably would have missed completely.
This clip is going to be... This clip and this picture is going to be one that is around for a long time. And look, the players they did the right thing. They absolutely did the right thing with their responses. It was completely...
Caitlin's reaction was appropriate too. She basically said, it was just a strategic foul. Either Reese gets an uncontested basket, or we send her to the line. Nothing malicious intended, just strategic basketball. Every player understands that concept. Yes, it was forceful contact. She did a bit more than necessary to prevent the score. The follow-through with her offhand wasn't needed, but ultimately it's really nothing significant. This image and video will circulate for years to come. Both athletes handled the aftermath correctly. Their responses were totally reasonable. The whole situation is overblown. It was just a basketball play. Probably excessive, but not dangerous in any way, and definitely intentional, no question about it.
Completely fair, and just seeing everything about this is mad. Like, it was a basketball play, probably excessive, not dangerous in any way, and intentional 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%.
Realistically, Angel Reese didn't need to jump up and confront Clark after a moderately hard foul. What Clark did wasn't even close to what Diamond Shields or Kennedy Carter did to her previously. Clark's action was comparable to what Reese did to her last season, and Clark didn't try to confront Reese then. It resembled what Marina Mabrey did to her last year, except somehow the officials didn't even call that a foul when Mabrey hit Clark and knocked her down. The playoffs refs called nothing on that play.
you got the flagrant. Aaliyah, you got a technical. What kind of happened there?
AB got the tech? I know.
Wait, what?
I got the tech?
I didn't know that.
Oh, first of all,
I know.
Let's not make it anything that it's not. It was just a good play on the basketball. I'm not sure what the refs saw to upgrade it, and
Come on.
that's up to their discretion after watching the initial whatever happened during the play and then whatever happened after.
Here's what Clark said when questioned. You received the excessive foul. Aaliyah, you got a technical. What happened there? I got a tech? Didn't realize that. First off, let's not exaggerate this situation. It was just good basketball strategy. Not sure why the officials upgraded it. That's their decision after reviewing what happened during and after the play. We all watch basketball. It's a strategic foul to send them to the line. I'd rather give up 2 free throws than an easy basket.
Let's listen to the rest of this.
Points. You know, I've watched a lot of basketball in my life. That's exactly what it was. I wasn't trying to do anything malicious. That's not the type of player I am. So, yes, it wasn't anything like that. And I went for the ball, and that's clear as day in the replay. You watch it. You know, it shouldn't have been upgraded. But, again, that's up to the ref's discretion. But I appreciate AB having my back. I guess I don't even know what she did. I didn't see that.
Oh, girl,
Have fun paying that fine.
can I get half? Can you send me?
The funniest part is these passionate Reese supporters talking nonstop, saying she calls it a strategic foul. Clark doesn't understand basketball. A strategic foul only happens at midcourt. That's ridiculous. Just because the NBA created a rule about transition, take fouls being automatic penalties doesn't mean strategic and transition fouls are identical. You can commit a strategic foul anywhere on the court. It's literally what they call intentionally stopping your opponent from scoring or advancing. In transition situations, it results in automatic penalties.
A foul because I know you guys are going to want me to break this down.
Too strong on a
right
three.
here it is right here. She comes
And
in,
look out,
just a
Caitlin
little
Clark
grab
pushes Angel
around
Reese,
her,
Angel Reese
trying to
gets right
kind of
up
hold
into
her,
Caitlin
really.
Clark. Afterwards has
And
something
Angel
to say
Reese
as Clark
loses her mind.
walks away.
I mean, if you
Energy
can't
and
tell me
attention
there is not
around the
true
matchups between
animosity,
Reese and
jealousy,
Clark
and
Angel
agenda
Reese.
ate up.
People are saying that's not even a strategic foul. She doesn't know the rules. These folks have likely never actually watched basketball before. I doubt they've ever played basketball. Honestly, I don't think they've ever been around the sport. They just idolize certain players and despise others, using that player as an excuse to attack entire groups of people. And yes, people do this with other players too. That's factual on all sides. Some use number 22 to spread negativity towards certain groups, just like they've used Chicago's number 5 to do it. However, it seems socially acceptable to spread hate toward number 22 from Indiana and toward a particular demographic.
Right there with that player, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that was a big nothing. Wow. Especially after everything that Caitlin Clark dealt with last year.
The officials explained Clark met the criteria for an excessive foul due to the wind-up, impact, follow-through, and extension of the left hand to Reese's back, which was deemed not a legitimate basketball move. Therefore, Boston received a physical taunt technical and Reese a verbal technical, which offset. I honestly don't understand what Aaliyah got penalized for. Clark added, I've watched tons of basketball in my life. That's exactly what it was. I wasn't trying to do anything malicious. That's not the type of player I am. I went for the ball, which is clear in the replay. It shouldn't have been upgraded, but that's the official's judgment. I appreciate AB supporting me. I didn't even see what happened with her fine. Can I get half of it? I think it's like $100 something in the WNBA. That's pretty much the whole situation. It is what it is.
It's unbelievable. This is another view right here of Angel just really dropping F-bombs. I think she says, you're effing crazy, something like that, blah, blah, blah.
Everything started with one memorable image. During the Big Ten Women's Basketball Championship in Indianapolis last March, a picture of Caitlin Clark celebrating on the bench with toned arms on display spread across social media platforms. There was quite a bit of talk about her muscles, mentioned Amber Cox, the Fever's operations director. Team personnel also recognized the moment. She definitely felt good about it, commented Sarah Kessler, Indiana's head fitness trainer. We did laugh about it since it got more attention than we thought it would. That popular snapshot wasn't merely about showing off. It demonstrated Clark's off-season commitment.
You crazy as F. What the F is wrong with you? I mean, my goodness. By the way, this is Angel Reese.
For the first time since mid-2023, she had sufficient opportunity to fully prepare her body for WNBA challenges. I can't recall the last time I've worked with a player in the women's league, or even in men's basketball, where we had a steady 4 to 5 month stretch to train together, Kessler explained. The primary objective? Building strength. Clark tackled this task with her typical determination. I've had players who talked about goals, but when the actual work needed to reach those goals appears, that's where you sometimes see a gap, Kessler observed.
Right after Caitlin Clark hit that three-pointer at the buzzer going into halftime. Guys.
But with Caitlin, once she set those targets, I immediately saw her working out 4 to 5 times weekly. The Indiana Fever are no longer just a team with future potential. With Clark leading the way, they're evolving into something much more powerful as her second season begins, a transformation that starts with the physical development she achieved during winter. This progress faces its initial serious test on Saturday. Indiana start their season at home against the Chicago Sky and Angel Reese, the first of 5 games between these teams this year. Reese, similar to Clark, comes off an impressive first year that helped drive record viewership and attendance for the WNBA. Their direct competition ranks among the highlight matchups of opening weekend, offering insight into the league's promising future. Competition is genuine, and that's what makes sports so exciting, Clark stated. Certain teams make those games matter a bit more. We approach every game the same way, but rivalries get fans engaged, and they really enjoy it.
This game, this is what a sellout looks like. 17,274 fans, and it was fully sold out. It was packed.
Clark's quick improvement has impressed head coach Stephanie White, who came back to Indiana this offseason after successful years with Connecticut. Caitlin faced many challenges from day one: new league, new teammates. Everyone's bigger, faster, stronger, White said, but she's incredibly hard-working with great game understanding. She wants to improve. Betting experts apparently agree. Clark is now listed as the front-runner for most valuable player this season, highlighting how transformative her off-season work is expected to be. Clark herself admitted that adapting to WNBA physicality was the biggest challenge in her rookie year, something opponents targeted. This season, she's set on changing that story. Entering year 2, I have experience in this league. I understand what to expect. I know how training camp functions. Just having that knowledge of how things work has given me lots of confidence, she explained.
This game was not close, folks. 93-58. And my God, by the way, Dave Portnoy won $350,000.
That assurance was clear during the Fever's 81-76 preseason victory over the Atlanta Dream, where Clark's new strength was immediately noticeable. She moved smoothly, her signature long-range shots looking even more natural. Her basket drives showed power she lacked last season, and her passes displayed the results of her winter training. It appears she might have even extended her three-point range. One watcher noted, her distant shots were impressive, and the comfort with which she took them was remarkable. The Fever underwent substantial lineup changes during the offseason, with general manager Kelly Krauskopf and head coach Amber Stocks focusing on seasoned leadership. Bonner Howard and Sydney Colson were acquired to bring expertise and championship knowledge to the team. I think what we mainly needed last year was experience, Clark pointed out. Adding great veterans like DB, Bonner and Sid Colson and Tosh Howard and surrounding us with that experience. That's what will really benefit us.
Caitlin Clark doing a little bit of everything. Look at this right here. Coming down the court, Natasha Howard's cutting under the rim right there with the little finger roll lay-in. Beautiful.
Bonner, who joined after a successful period with Connecticut, praised Clark's guidance and game-creating abilities. She's a dynamic player. She simply makes everyone around her better. Being on this side with her is much more enjoyable than defending against her, that's certain, Bonner remarked. Her addition, along with Howard, brings a sense of urgency and wisdom that the Fever greatly needed. White's return to the Fever, having previously guided Indiana to the WNBA Finals in 2015, represents a crucial shift in the team's atmosphere and goals. Her approach centers on openness and direct communication, a method that is already connected with her players. It's still developing, White said about the team's unity. The most crucial thing for me and the team is communication. We all share the same objectives here, which which is to position ourselves to compete for a championship. Clark shared that view, describing the team environment as unselfish and motivated. Everyone is happy to be here. We all share the same goal. Developing those connections with teammates and being purposeful about it is really important, she explained. With Clark's growing leadership, Bonner and Howard's championship mindset, and White's organized philosophy, the Fever find themselves approaching the WNBA's elite group. We're establishing our identity, and the common element in our team is that everyone is selfless. Everyone wants to succeed, Clark emphasized. For an organization seeking stability and achievement, that outlook might be exactly what transforms promise into result. With Clark's physical development, the Fever's off-season rebuild, and veteran additions strengthening their roster, Indiana's path to becoming contenders no longer seems remote. It feels certain.